Welcome to Reframe and Reclaim. We are Courtney Huckabee, a psychotherapist,
and Jen Harris, an interior designer
who have teamed up to reflect,
challenge,
and reframe your mindset in relationship with your personal belongings. Find the reframe.
Start your reclaim.
Welcome back to another episode of Reframe and Reclaim. I'm Jen Harris.
And I am Courtney Huckabee.
And I don't know if listeners out there, have you ever walked in your home and just had shoes scattered everywhere?
Yes.
You can't find your keys.
Yes.
The mail's misplaced somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know where it is. It creates such chaos and hecticness before you go in the door or before you go out the door. And then as soon as you come in the door, right?
Right.
So today we're going to be talking about one of the simplest design solutions you can do, but that is a drop zone. Everybody could use a good drop zone. So, but it's not just limited to, a lot of people think drop zones are just like by the front door, right?
That's where most people say, I come and drop something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I like to incorporate drop zones kind of throughout my home for different systems. And that helps me keep my life sane and keeps me on track to keep, the chaos at a minimum.
We like minimum chaos, if possible.
If possible. Sometimes, it's just like...
It just happens.
But going in, so walking in the door is usually the most common drop zone area. And really what this space needs to have is a place for everyone to drop their things, whether that's a bench with a drawer for someone to put something in, whether it's a coat closet and everybody has their own specific hangers and, like a shoe organizer at the bottom for your shoes. Maybe it's a hook system as you come in the door. So there's all different ways you can make drop zones, excuse me, when you walk in the door. And things to keep in mind, look at the climate you're in. So if it's rainy in the springtime or it's winter and there's lots of snow, I recommend getting some sort of, like boot tray, something where you can put wet items. So that way, you're not getting your floors completely wet and dirty
and
then slippery, tracking mud and things like that. I also like in my drop zone in the wintertime to have the rechargeable like heating pads for like your hands and hand warmers. I find that's really good. And then in the spring and summertime, I have bug spray and sunscreen by my drop zone.
Definitely needed in Texas.
Yes. Is there anything you keep in your drop zone, like at specific times of years or?
Right when we walk in the door, we have a key zone. I keep my keys in my purse, but my husband keeps his car key, our shared car key, his extra keys that he needs on that key thing. And I think it's really great because once you go outside, if you're missing a key, you don't have to go very far. Or you come inside, you drop the keys in his hands, because guys, keep the keys in the hand or the pocket, drop it there. It's really great. We also have a place to drop coats and jackets. We have a hooks coming right in. So that way, if you have a rain jacket on or if you have a coat on, you drop it there and then you can come inside.
Nice. And how's that system working well?
Love it.
Excellent.
It's a great system.
So we drop stuff when we walk in the door. There's also, so we're dropping our items that we bring in from outside of the home. I also recommend a drop zone for information. So this could be a command center, a centralized location. It could be a digital calendar like a skylight. It could be a paper calendar, just somewhere in the home where everyone has access to see what's coming up this week, what's coming up this month. And, even those papers that you get from school where it's the little flyers of a field trip coming up or
important
an event happening or a sports thing, somewhere where you can pin it up or paper clip it to a calendar where you can find where everyone in the family, I should say, can find this information.
We can see it.
So your spouse isn't like, hey, when is this thing happening? And it's like, well, go look at the calendar, go look at the command center. This is also where you can put grocery lists. We also have our kids' chores and tasks for the day at this location. And so it really is like the central hub of our home. So I consider that like an information drop zone.
I love that. We have a whiteboard, and I love a good whiteboard because I'm a pen and paper person. I like, I know these like really cool, electronic calendars and stuff. It's kind of like your phone or your computer. It's wonderful, but I like just the satisfaction of writing it and like erasing it or checking it off.
Scratching it out
Yes.
feels so good.
So we do that, and then it's really great because it's like also kind of in the same space as our leaving out the door, so you cannot
Mm.
miss it. It's right there, the space leaving out the door, or coming right in. So it's a great place to keep those important events or calendar events.
Yes. And then for us, our central location for our
Mhm.
information drop zone is in our dining room. And so we keep like it there because it's kind of in the center of our house.
Right.
And then on top of that, that's where we do our family meetings. So whenever it's time to
Oh,
have our
that's so
family
smart.
meeting, I can just grab my calendar right there. We sit down and go over the upcoming events for that week. So
That's so smart. I like that a lot.
and then something else, this can be incorporated with this command center or information drop zone area, or it can be separate. So mine's separate, but it's mail. So paper clutter and mail can really put a damper on your
My life.
day.
My life, yes.
So whether you pick it up every day or you pick it up once a week, I always recommend going through your mail immediately. And we've done an episode previously on how much junk mail that comes
So
through your
much,
home.
so much unwanted mail,
It's
wasted paper coming in my home
ridiculous.
every day.
So what I like to do is, and I'm not endorsed or anything, but I really like a rolling like identity cover up. So it's like Guard Your ID is one I've used before, but basically it's a roller ink and it rolls over your name and your address and eliminates it covers up all of your important information. It's like your name and address and things like that. And that was a real game changer for me because for me, I want to recycle everything. So I would go through and I would like tear off the address and tear off my name.
Mhm.
And this, I can just stamp it and roll it and go. And it has saved me so much time.
That's wonderful. Yeah. I'm very much a person like I kind of rip it up and then I either put it in our shred bin or,
Mhm.
if it's, something that's, a one pager or a postcard, and I like rip it up and put it in the recycling. But the idea of making sure your identity is covered is a really
Yes.
important thing because then they can say, oh, Courtney Huckabee, you live here. How
Right.
cool.
I still shred my really
Mhm.
important documents that have,
Mhm.
or things that have like credit card information or stuff like that, bank statements. But for especially the junk mail or like
Mhm.
your warranty's almost up,
It's always up.
So, right.
It's always up.
I just roll it and go. So roll it and recycle.
I love
That's
that. Roll it and recycle.
another really important drop zone that we have in our home is a donation drop zone.
I love that.
And we actually have multiple locations. So I always like to do a donation zone in my garage that's out of the home so it doesn't add additional clutter. But then I like to have a box in my closet or like in my kids' closet or somewhere where we're going to be going through stuff frequently. So in my
Mhm.
closet, it's nice, or for someone who's not like growing and changing sizes, it's nice to have it there because then if you put something on, you can just toss it in the box if you don't like how it feels or you just
Mhm.
feel like you've outgrown it. For kids, I recommend doing the box not necessarily year round, but definitely at the change of seasons. We're going into back to school. This is a great time to have a box in the closet so you can just switch out the clothes, the old clothes as the new come in, and get those out and donated.
I love that. We have multiple donation bins that we keep in our garage, but we have a system. Well, my system is put it in the laundry room next to the garage door, and
Hmm.
then whenever I have a free hand, take it from that countertop in the laundry room and then put it in the bin. But having a box inside my house somewhere, I think, would be more beneficial. Than it's like, okay, taking this box and emptying it into the donation bin.
Right. And this is also helpful if a birthday's coming up, right? We're going to be getting rid of old toys before new toys come in, or Christmas, or at the end of
Hmm.
Christmas. It's like I'm going through my decorations and oh, I
Yeah,
didn't really use this.
yeah.
Let's get rid of this. So I found that's really, really helpful. And then the second part of that is though that I struggle with is you have to put it in your information drop zone when you're going to take those donations to the donation location of your choice.
I love that part. I'll come by and get
Okay, you can
yours.
come by and get
I'll
mine.
come by and get yours. I will say it feels really good to say like something can maybe be used by someone
Mhm.
else. It has left my home. There's less things in my home. And this summer, I have been decluttering my office space in my therapy office. And also, my husband is redesigning and kind of reformatting his office space at home. And it's been really great because we've, gotten rid of so many things and it feels a little lighter in
Mm,
the house. It
mhm.
takes some work and, some mental power of like, what do I keep? What do I not keep? But it just feels so nice to say, and that's out of my home.
Yes.
So I'll come
That's
by and
wonderful.
get yours when I donate mine.
Wonderful. Because
Teamwork.
I put it in my car. I'm like, I'm gonna
Mhm.
have it. It's kind of like you with
Mhm.
your when you have a spare hand. Like I
When I have
put
a
it in the
spare
back of
hand,
the
I put
car,
it
and
in
I'm
the
like, when I
donation.
have time, I'm just gonna swing by, and then it doesn't happen.
I don't
So
I don't swing by places. I make it to the grocery store. I make it to my office. I make it to my friend's house. I don't swing by anywhere else. There's
that's
one
that's
location.
my reframe. I need to
Yeah.
do
Mhm.
no
Mhm.
swinging in the car. Okay, so here's another kind of controversial, not really, but something I do that might seem a little odd to people, but I actually use my washing machine as a drop zone.
Hmm.
So for me, I tend to do a load every day. So that way I can stay on top of the laundry and I don't feel overwhelmed doing like 5 loads all at once. So at the end of the night, so like at the end of dinner, whenever we're done eating, we do use fabric napkins. The kids know to bring their fabric napkins and drop them in the washing machine. I'll go around and pick up clothes, or if I take it after I've taken my shower, I just drop stuff straight into the washing machine instead of taking it to the hamper just to put it in the washing machine the next morning.
I
So,
don't say that's like an odd thing. I think it is a very resourceful thing.
mm,
I think one thing is like, are you okay with like having your cloth napkins with, swim trunks with,
for me, I'm fine.
basketball shorts and all those things? And if you are, totally great. I will say for me, I like.
Not grass stained things or stuff that's like covered in dirt.
Sure,
No,
but you're
but
like, oh, we can do like, a mixed assortment of
yes.
clothes. For me, I want to be like, my clothes were cleaned, and I know that my work shirt or my, socks that I really like to wear are in that load, and I know they're being
Mhm.
cleaned. So, like, for me, I like the routine of I start Thursday night with my
Right.
laundry and I'm finished by Saturday. But I think like you have more people in your home. There's a lot more
Yeah.
activities in the home that might be really helpful for someone who's like, I just need to make sure things continue to get washed and I know to get washed sometime this week.
Yes, yes. And so for me, so before I had children, how I loved to do laundry was I would wash all my shirts and I'd wash all the shorts or pants because
Mhm.
they would be hung up or put away the same way. So I could get the same type of hangers because I use like a thin save space saver hanger for my shirts. But then my pants, I use like a heavier duty plastic hanger. So I would only want to grab one type of hanger. So I would do all the shirts together and then all the pants together and then all of like
You have
socks and
such a
under
great
things.
system.
It doesn't quite
Such
work
a
in this
great
chapter of
system.
life, but I will go back to that when the kids are out of the house
Or you can, evolve into a
or
new
evolve into
system.
something else. That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, so we kind of just wash it all together and
What works for me right now, what works for our home.
yes. Another great drop zone if you don't want to run out of things, out of items in your home, whether it's home goods like paper towels and toilet paper or shampoos, you will need a backstock drop zone area. So somewhere where all that excess can go and you can easily find and grab it to restock items in your home.
I have
That's
that in my linen closet.
mhm,
So in our linen closet, we have extra hand soap, we have extra Q-tips, we have extra shampoos or body washes in
mhm,
there. And so that way I know like things that I need for the bathroom are in the bathroom, but like tucked away. Not all, I don't need 3 bottles of shampoo of the same shampoo in the shower. And it
right.
saves space and it's a little bit more of a system and organization.
And less visual clutter in the actual bathroom. So you're not like, oh, these bottles, where do they
Yeah,
go?
behind a door, I shut the door, and
Mhm,
it's usually somewhat organized. Like bottles of things are here, or like, cotton, like facial wipes
mhm.
or Q-tips are here, medicine is here. So trying to keep it organized. But life happens.
Yes, yes, it does. Just we're trying to just maintain order. It's not going to be perfection. It's just
Creating
creating
systems that help
systems.
for more convenience and
Exactly,
functionality.
exactly. So something else I like to do is, in pantries, I feel like pantries get overstocked really easily. And so I like to have it's just a seasonal food drop zone. So it's just a bin that's for seasonal items and that has become kind of my flex space. So if you do like the 80-20 rule, this is where I keep my 20%. So that way if it's marshmallows in the summertime, it goes there. If it's soups in the fall and winter, they go there. So things that are seasonally changing, so I don't have to have just a random like miscellaneous label because then people put random things in there. So I
Mhm.
just put seasonal, and then I make sure that I go and check those food items each season and make sure the expired stuff comes out and it's ready for the next season.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think pantries, and I am, guilty of this, overstocked, overflowed, overfilled, and finding expired things. And so I think
Hmm.
it's really great to have like a routine or a system of taking things out, checking your
Yes.
inventory, cleaning things out for sure.
And then last but not least, this is really helpful at the end of the day, but you need to have a needs to go home drop zone. So this is for items that are in the wrong place around the house. So this needs to go back to its home. This does not belong in the living room. So if you read our book, I kind of talk about the basket method where, and this works really well, I think, for younger kids or just no kids in the house, because then you can go around, and the basket method is you take a basket with you, and as you're walking through the room you pick up items that don't belong in that room, and then as you get to another room you can unload the items and put them back where they belong. However, with young kids this worked because I was putting their items back, but as they got older I'm like, why am I putting back their items,
Mhm.
right? This is not
Mhm.
working for me. And so we created like a drop zone on our pony wall, but you could use any space. Maybe it's your fireplace, or maybe it's a side table in your entryway. But anything that is not in its rightful place goes to this spot, and then it needs to be cleared off before bedtime. So everybody, my stuff, my husband's stuff, my kids' stuff, gets put back to its home. Go to your home. Goes back to their home by the end of the night, and that has worked out really well for us as well.
And you do that every evening.
Yes, we not. I mean, we
Most evenings.
most evenings. Yes,
Yeah.
80/20.
And again, all these things are great ideas to put into practice. And, maybe it's once a week, maybe it's,
Hmm.
every, I don't know, Wednesday evening or something like that. But I love the idea of like, I could just like, I don't have to like take something, put it back where it goes, find something else.
Hmm.
It's just like scoop up the space, make sure the space is clean and neat, and then I can figure out where things go later.
Well, then it's been communicated too to like my kids, where it's like if you see something on here that's yours, as you're walking by, grab it, take it to your room, or put it up where it needs to go. So,
I have a tall kitchen counter for my husband. That's what we
mm,
do. Like his mail or his sunglasses or his paperwork or whatever. I'll put it on the edge of the tall cabinet or countertop, and I'll be like, okay, that I need you to find something, and I'll say, and I've taken my
hmm,
things. I've already taken care of my part. Or my kid, his stuff will like be everywhere. I have like a spot for him in his playroom. It's just like the little table he sits at. Anything that I find that doesn't belong in the living room or the kitchen or the dining room, it goes on that table. And then at the end of the week, at that table, where do these things belong?
mm.
And then let's make sure he knows how to sort and organize things.
And really, that goes back to the beginning of the conversation. Whether it's mail, whether it's toys, or whether it's backpacks coming in, creating designated spaces and drop
Hmm.
zones per person in the
I
household,
think
so
that's
everybody
great.
has their own space.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, everyone has their hook, or everyone has their
exactly.
countertop, or everyone has their bin, or everyone has their basket, or their, shoe rack, whatever that is. I think that's wonderful.
So thanks again for joining us. And whether you're trying to organize a house that's filled with people, or you're just trying to, simplify your systems in your home, we hope you've been able to take away some practical tips that you can apply to your home today and make your life a little more simplified and a little less chaotic.
I think I'm going to utilize some more drop zones in my home after this. So thanks for sharing some really great tips.
Yes, and drop zones don't have to be overly complicated. I mean, it's in the word drop zone. It's got to be simple, right?
Hmm.
Simplified and easy. So, if you have created a drop zone or have a system that works really well, please share with us. Send us photos, comment below, and let us know your thoughts. Like and subscribe, and share this with anyone that you think might need it.